All right, guys, here is the answer to the question that I asked about if you guys recognized what I was talking about in this German Boon chart on the footprint. And I had talked about this a couple times before, and I'm going to talk about it again because it's an important thing for you to look for, and it gives you an excellent tip off to the potential that a turn has taken place. And this is when we really want to try to get into the market, is when we can attempt with a high degree of probability to determine if a turn has in fact taken place. Now, this was the first example right here, this pink box, right? And these are called stacks, right? One on top of the other. In this case, they're both red. You don't want these stacks to be any more than two boxes off the low. So let's say there was another box down here, right? That would still be legitimate. But if there were, let's say there were three boxes down here or four boxes down here, and your red is up here, that's suspect. Because basically what this is telling you is that it's a washout. It's kind of like a sentiment indicator. There's too many, because it's stacked, there's too many bears, and they can't push it down any further. So this is the first one that I showed you. And then the other two that I showed you are over here, right? So you had a stack here with these two. And you see you only have two off the low. So that's legitimate. And you rallied after that. And then when you get them on the low like that, that's like lick your chops time. Not only is it lick your chops time, but when you get them on the low like that, I want you to notice something. And this is one of the things that I was beginning to allude to in my other video, but I decided to wait until I gave the explanation. When you do that, what ends up happening later on? We come back to it and we test it. And if we successfully test it, as we did here, we continue to go in that direction. What do? We tested it a second time right here and still had to move up. So when you see these stacked orders at the very bottom for red, and they got to be red on the bottom, they got to be green near the top. The green, if you're getting stacked up top, you're getting a sell signal. Same rule applies. You have to have no more than two boxes above where those stacks were. So let's say that these two are green, this 66 and this 92. That would be legitimate because you have no less than two extra price levels that are above where the stacks are. You start to get any more than two price levels with the stack, and it's going to deplete its probability quite a bit. So you had one here, right? Came back down and tested it. And you had one here and you tested it twice. So you had a couple opportunities to get in. So let's go through here. Now what did you have here? You had a stack, right? A green stack. And you only had two boxes below it. So that is legitimate. So you came down, you tested it, could have gotten long right there. You would have taken about 4 ticks of heat, but that's really not that bad. And what ultimately transpired? We continued to move higher, right? So we had another stack right here. But is that a good stack? Nope, it's not. Why? Because you've got 4 boxes above where the stack is. Is this a good stack for a short? Absolutely. You only had 1 box above it. And where were you? You're in this level of heavy shorting. So it was giving you confirmation that those shorts were going to defend that area. So let's see. I don't think we have any today. No, we don't. But there's another stack right there. So that's with the delta filtering, my own settings. But when you see stacks like that, it is and it has to be on the same bar. Like over here where we have these two reds, that's a completely different type of setup when you have when they're together like that. But the stacks, when you get a setup with a stack, that is an indication that you need to start paying attention and looking for an opportunity to potentially get short if these stacks are green and they're up near the top. Now, a low risk entry point would have been coming back here, which we did, and then you would short it. That was pretty close to the end of the Boone being active, so I wouldn't have even taken that. Maybe I would have taken it back here, but I can't say because I never took this trade. But you need to keep an eye out for those stacks because they are telling you something. They are telling you we might start rocking and rolling in the other direction because sentiment has become either so bullish or so bearish. All right, that is the answer to that. Let's see. So far today, we've got the hybrid opening range here at the blue. And we came down here. We came right up to the 33. And what did we do? We came up here twice. We held and we sold off. I'm telling you, if you're not using the 33, you better start because it works exceptionally well, especially on point and figure charts. And for the Boone, I use a 4 PNF, 4-box reversal. All righty, that's it. Later.